Christian Chad, you've said in multiple videos that we have not learned the correct lessons from World War II. What lessons should we have learned, and why did we arrive at the position we are today? The questions that were being posed in World War II, there are a lot. I mean, there was a lot of things going on. It's hard to totally focus on just one. But I would say that at the basics, you could really see that it's playing out the problem of having eliminated a proper ontological hierarchy. It is the result of the breakdown of the medieval synthesis, we call it. And so in the Middle Ages, there came to be a synthesis between, in that very, very dark time that everybody likes to talk about, in the dark ages. But let's say from the 10th to the 12th centuries, things started to stabilize. And also in the Byzantine Empire, the intellectual tradition there really was a synthesis between, let's say, Hellenistic thinking, even some elements of Persian thinking, and then Judaic thinking in the figure of Christ. So there's this synthesis of a massive scale, and then that started to break down at the end of the Middle Ages, and the World War II is the fruits of that. And so this is a place where I totally do agree with Jordan Peterson in terms of the two extremes. There's more than two in World War II. There's more than two, really. And so what we see is a kind of internationalism, a kind of classless, in theory, right? A classless worship of the worker, worship of the lower part of the hierarchy, and wanting to make everything equal and everything universal, without identities, without nation, without all that. So this kind of it was really a globalism in the form of communism versus extreme nationalism and exclusionary, let's say, nationalism. And so that's what was going on. And we don't talk about the causes. Like we never talk about how Nazism is a reaction to communism in a large part, how communism is a reaction to capitalism. And then so you have these weird trio that are kind of fighting for the 20th century. And we rarely talk about that, because now we have the same problem. We have the same problem where we have nationalism and globalism, and it's like, and then we have a last ditch effort to preserve a kind of society of freedom or whatever. But that society of freedom, it's what you would expect from a society of freedom. It's degenerating. It's falling apart. It's breaking apart because there's nothing to hold it together. And so, we can try to hold on to it as much as we want. It's not going to hold because it doesn't have something bringing it together. And so then come in the globalist answer, and then you have this nationalist answer, and both of them are going to lead us on the same path as what was there, in the 30s. All we need is a mass economic downturn. That's all we need. Right now, it's like everything is on edge, and if there's a massive recession, it's like there's no hope.